Hey everybody, I'm back, and tonight Sabrina is back.
Hey everyone.
If you guys caught last week's stream, I was here all alone. She abandoned me.
I do that from time to time.
But everybody was nice enough to say that I did pretty good all by myself, even though I was incredibly nervous without Sabrina.
I even watched the video.
She watched it when she came home, and I said, "Oh, so what did you think of the video?" And she said, "It was very informative," which is, I think, code word for boring.
No, it was a good video. It was informative.
I don't know. That wasn't what I was expecting. Like, she just finished. I was like, "Oh, so what did you think?" I was really nervous. Did you like the video? She's like, "Yeah, it had a lot of information in it." It's like, okay, but I guess that's a compliment. So I do have Sabrina backing me up today so she can read your comments. I was really struggling last week trying to stay on track, read the comments.
He needed help.
I did need help big time. So this week was a bit of a quiet week for us. Actually, the last couple weeks have been quiet for us. I know somebody wrote to us, I can't remember who, and said, "Wait, when are you guys going to do another traveling video?" But really, we've been in Virginia for a couple weeks now, and we're traveling, but only like 2-3 hours to one location, and then we come back 3 hours to another location. So it hasn't been anything new, and I just feel like you guys don't really want to watch us drive back and forth 3 hours from one part of Virginia to another part of Virginia when it's the same places. You guys already seen us at Newport News, and you've already seen us at the Bedford Welcome Center. But we are taking two big trips, one to Texas, and we're going to film that, and we'll share that trip with you. And we're going to take another trip to Winrock, Tennessee, and that trip's going to be called something like Where It All Began or something like that. It's the same trip that Sabrina and I took with our friend Mark to Winrock, Tennessee, and rented the RVs.
Yeah, it's Oliver Springs.
Yeah, we rented the RV, rented the ATVs and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of recreate that video, but this time we'll have our own RV. And Mark's coming with us again. We called Mark and said, "Hey, are you interested in doing a trip with us again to kind of do this all over again?" How many times can I say do it all over again?
I'm not sure.
So this week we've been getting like the RV ready. On the way back from California, a rock hit our windshield and left a decent sized chip. It's hard to tell in the picture, but that's about the size of a nickel. So we called Safellite. I called them in maybe like 10 in the morning, and they had a guy out at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Rich, and he came up here and he worked on our windshield. I would say that he was finished in about an hour, and when he was all done, this is how it looked. You can't even tell it's like it never even happened. So that was pretty easy. That was really easy. It was, I'm sure somebody's going to ask how much it was. It was $128 to have them fix that chip. But like I said, called him at 10 a.m. Out to us by 1. He was done by 2, all in the same day. It was great. And that was, that made it very simple. Very simple.
Yeah, I was at work, and I think I saw your text after he was probably already done. I think you said he was coming, and then he was done. So.
Yeah. And I posted it on Instagram, so you might have seen it on Instagram. I don't think Sabrina follows us on Instagram.
I don't really know about that.
We had a very powerful week in Instagram this week. We hit 500 friends. We won't say followers. We hit 500 friends on Instagram this week, so that's a big deal for us because we're kind of new to Instagram. Sabrina's niece, Amira, or our niece, Amira, showed me how to Instagram. So thank you, Amira. I don't think Amira watches our videos though.
Amira's got her own things to do.
Yeah, she's a busy teenager. What else did we do? So we're pretty much getting ready for the Texas trip. We had that windshield fixed. We had a bracket? No.
Something fell off the wind. Something.
When you close the hood of the front, with the engine compartment, it comes up, goes forward, and you got two locks there, and it latches to a bracket on both sides. The bracket fell on one side, and we turned around and tried to find it. We couldn't find the bracket, so I went to Home Depot and bought like a little shelf bracket and then cut it up to the sizes that we need it and bolted it to a piece, to the part of the frame in there. And then I just wrapped it with that blue duct tape there, just so I wouldn't cut my arm on the edges. I filed it, but just to be on the safe side, I also added that little bit of tape to it. So the original bracket is just like epoxy, and it's held on to the fiberglass of the inside of the motorhome. And I wouldn't be surprised if we lost the other side of the bracket someday. I don't know. I guess they didn't want to drill holes through the fiberglass to clamp this on, so it's just kind of glued on.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me funny?
I'm not. I'm just listening. This is me listening. That's my listening face.
You're always looking at me funny.
That's my listening face.
It seemed a little funnier than usual. Something else that we did to get the motorhome ready, our water pump has been making a strange sound. So I grabbed the water pump out of our water pump's in one of our bays. I took it all apart, cleaned it up. It wasn't really, really dirty inside, but after I put it back together again.
You put it in the dish rack?
Well, because everything was wet, and I figured if I would drop a screw or anything, the dish rack would catch the screws, and it worked because I dropped a screw and it caught it, and then I was just like, voila.
This is like when I was watching your video from last week, and I'm like, why is there dirt dripping down the side of the shower?
Oh yeah, my Oxygenics video with the Minions. Everybody liked the Minions, knocking down the cups, and Sabrina watched that video too, and she was like, I was thinking about this mess, and then at the very end, like the last 2 seconds of the video, after the screen goes blank, I said, oh, I better clean this up before Sabrina gets home. She's like, that's exactly what I was thinking too, watching this video. So I cleaned up the water pump, put it all back together again, and it's now back to making, the water pump always makes a little bit of sound, but it was getting louder and louder, and I don't think me cleaning it out fixed the sound of it. I think me just screwing everything back together, maybe everything wasn't as tight, maybe things were loosening up a little bit here or there. I don't know, but for whatever reason, pulling it all apart, cleaning that diaphragm out and putting it back together worked. It's back to being its normal, somewhat loud self. It's really not that loud, but it was getting very loud. So that is what we're up to. We're going to Texas. It's called the RV Summit, right?
RV Entrepreneur Summit.
RV Entrepreneur Summit. Mess it up. It's hosted by Heath and Alyssa Pageant. Heath has a podcast that he does on about people that live and work out of their RVs. And we're going there just to... they also have a blog and a website. They're pretty big in the RV community. I got to meet Heath one time at the Winnebago rally. And Sabrina said, I'm a big fan of Heath Pageant. And when I saw him, I was just surprised to see him there. And I was like, as he's walking past, we're in like a conference or something.
Yeah, he started yelling.
I was like, Heath! And he came over and he was super nice, even though I was really weird about it. Because I just wasn't expecting to see him there. And hopefully he does not remember meeting me, because it was like I was very embarrassing.
After I was like, okay, guys.
Yeah, Sabrina's like,
okay, guys, they're talking.
Sabrina's like, you got to stop talking so loud. You're in a conference. And he was on his way trying to go somewhere, and I'm holding him up. So hopefully he doesn't even remember meeting me there. But they put together this conference, and they do seminars on, now that I'm doing the blogs and stuff like that, they're really good at blogging. They've built a real large fan base with blogging. So they're going to be teaching us how to blog and build a better website. And I enjoy the blogging and the writing a lot more than I thought I would. And they're going to have some speakers there. Technomedia will be there. Less Junk, More Journey's going to be there. Where the Russos are going to be there. I can't remember everybody that's going to be there, but they're all going to hold one class per day. And I feel like I think it's going to not only be a lot of fun, but I feel like we will learn a lot too about writing and working out of the RV and come up with some powerful ideas.
That's good.
Epic ideas.
That's good.
But I'm also looking forward to just doing the Texas trip too, and filming and sharing that too, because it has been a little while since we did a travel video.
I'm going to be escaping. Oh, escape is not a good word.
That's a terrible word.
I am going to be leaving the conference to go to
another
different conference.
A much less fun conference.
More fun. Fundamentals of disaster medicine. Yes. That's right. Seriously?
Boy.
Seriously?
What are you going to be doing?
No, whatever. Whatever.
Well, you'll be gone during the day, and then
Just
you'll
one
be,
day, yeah.
Just one day, and then you'll be there for like the nighttime activities. Or I think Keith and Alyssa.
Sounds like a nursing home. You're like nighttime activities. I
think we're going to be
bingo.
doing shuffleboard, coloring books, all that. I think they did campfires, and I think Keith, from what I've been told, my editor-in-chief from Winnebago.
I was like, editor-in-chief?
Or chief editor? I don't know how you say it. Don Cohen. He's going to be there, and he was there last year, and he told us that Heath and Alyssa's RV Summit was the best RV gathering he has ever been to. Or one of the best. I guess he didn't say the best, but one of the best. He was very impressed by what they put together. And I always say Brooke and Buddy, and you always say that it sounds like I'm saying Broken Buddy, but Buddy and Brooke from TrailingYourWay.com, they're going to be there as well. And Brooke is like my intermediate person. I send all my blogs to her for Winnebago, and then she cleans them up and gets them onto the site and makes them look good afterwards. So we're looking forward to meeting them also.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be a good time. So that's about all we got today, really. Just getting ready for this Texas trip. Oh, and I'm going to change the oil in the generator tomorrow. That's due. I don't know. I think that's what we've been doing this week. It really just prepping the RV, just getting ready for this trip. We leave for the trip next week. In fact, we might not do a live video next week because we might be traveling. We might not. So don't expect a live video next week. If you happen to tune in on next Thursday at 7 and we're on, you can be pleasantly surprised.
Is it really going to be pleasant?
I think so. I'm always pleasant. I'm always now that you're back with me. It's much easier.
You always said that you were the meat and I'm the potatoes and vegetables at every event.
They're at the events, not the live. I need you for the live videos. I'm much calmer with the live.
Okay, fine.
Do we have any questions?
I don't see any questions.
No questions.
Everybody's saying hi.
Everybody
it's great
says
to be
hi.
back, guys.
Sabrina really did miss you last week, and like I said last week, I think I was surprised that she said that you missed doing the live. We do have a lot of fun with the live video. We enjoy seeing everybody come up here and chit-chatting with everybody. But we really like the questions, too. Somebody had asked, and I didn't get to questions last time, but they're interested in the RV life, and they want to do it, but their significant other does not want to do it per se, and they're like, how could I talk this? I wish I could remember who this was that asked, how do I talk somebody else into doing it? I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of close quarters to be with somebody that may, be with somebody in an RV that may or may not want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Sabrina and I both had the idea. We don't even know which one of us came up with this idea first because it was so close, or we both thought this was a good idea for us. And just so happens, though, that my new blog for Winnebago Life is questions you should ask yourself before moving into an RV. And I think I just picked our top 5 questions. And I think it's a very serious article. It's not my normal goofiness, but I think they're good questions just to bounce off each other and say, oh yeah, are we okay with leaving friends and saying goodbye to people, even though you have media forms that you can do FaceTime and stuff? Is that something? Are you capable of living in saying not only goodbye to your friends but saying goodbye to your stuff too? A lot of it. I mean, even if it's not full time, even if you put it in storage, you're still saying goodbye to a lot of things. So I think it's a very good article.
It is good.
It's a must read.
I wanted an extra number on there, but you said 5 is a good number.
Whenever we see a video or anything, it's always top 5. I feel like it's always top 5. So I was like, I'll just do 5 questions, our top 5 questions. But yeah, we had about 15, and then trimmed it down to 5. And then to go back to what we were talking about last week a little bit with the shopping of an RV and how we decided to go with the A class, and this Sabrina and I were talking today. And I think Sabrina was like, you know, between a choice between an A-Class and a C-Class, because they're so similar, they're both drivable vehicles, why would you go with a C-Class over an A-Class? And because you get, to us, it feels like you have so much more room in an A-Class. But I said to her, so now I'm starting to convince her of a C-Class, but I didn't mean to. But with a C-Class, it's usually the Ford E-Series vehicle, which has been crash tested. It's got airbags in it, and there's a lot more safety issues. I feel like there's a lot more safety issues in a C class. Class
Issues?
C. Not issues. Did I say issues?
Use the issues.
Well, I have issues. So I feel like it has more safety features in a Class C than a Class A. So there's an argument. This way, we don't always sound like we're always pushing the Class A.
Let me come off the serious conversation for a second.
Yes.
I was driving in the car. He was in the passenger seat and said, "Oh, look, a leprechaun just crossed the street." And I was like, "A leprechaun?" And he's like, "Yeah, didn't you see it go by? The leprechaun just crossed the street." So I thought he was hallucinating is what I thought was happening. And then he mentioned that, no, it was a Class C RV leprechaun that he was talking about.
I'm pretty sure it's a leprechaun on the side of it.
I was literally thought somebody was like dressed up in a green costume running across the street, and I didn't see anybody, so I really thought maybe it was just like almost maybe low blood sugar, and then you were just hallucinating or something.
Sometimes I do have low blood sugar. I don't know. I don't think we've ever mentioned on the channel before, but I'm diabetic. Was diabetic, or am diabetic.
I think you need to follow up with your physician.
But and I was diagnosed with diabetes about 2 years ago, and I've been very, not strict, but I've been, they put me on medication. It's called metformin, and I don't like the medication at all. It bothers my stomach. It makes me sick to my stomach. So for the last 2 years, I've been trying to get off of it, and I just came off the medicine about 6 weeks ago.
Maybe.
About 6 weeks ago.
I don't know when you actually stopped taking it. I know when you told me you stopped taking it.
Maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago. But I still test all, I still prick my finger, check my blood and everything, and it's been so good lately. I mean, in fact, recently, my blood sugars have been dropping lower than they should be, which is really bizarre since I'm not on the medicine anymore. But I lost something like 40 pounds?
30, I think.
30 some pounds.
Sorry to kill your dreams. I'm like, yeah. 30.
So, and all my weight, it was like the perfect storm for diabetes. All my weight was like right where, for diabetes anyway, is like in your stomach, like so around your waist, your stomach and all that. So when you're looking at me, I probably look the same in my face, but I lost a lot around my stomach and waist. But that was over a course of 2 years that I lost this weight. So you wouldn't even notice it anyway, I don't think. Not over 2 years, you wouldn't notice 30 pounds, I guess. But I'm very excited about losing the weight, getting off the medicine, so now my stomach doesn't bother me anymore. And very excited about it. I'm letting you guys know to make sure that you keep me on track. If you guys see me gaining a little bit of weight, mention it in the comments like, "Hey, Pudgy, you're going to go right back to getting diabetes again."
Hey, Pudgy.
Hey, Pudgy. That could be my nickname. What do you have to add? I always ask you, and you always say nothing.
Because you catch me off guard. You catch me when my brain is wandering, and then you're like, "What do you have to add?" I don't know. I added my leprechaun.
Added your leprechaun. All right, if there's no questions, I'm going to sign us off then.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Sabrina, when you go to work, are you working wherever the hospitals need help? Yes. Yep. So as long as I have a state license and I like what they're telling me, then I go. She's
a little picky.
Yeah. So yeah.
And that's why we really don't know where we'll be, and sometimes we're in cold weather. We really can't help it. Whichever hospitals need her the most, and whichever hospitals she's okay with agreeing with. But, we don't always, in the wintertime, we don't always get the warm weather choices. Sometimes we're kind of forced to go into the cold weather.
Where's the little one? I think she's up on the dash.
She's on the dash. We gave her some type of treat to keep her quiet,
distract her,
so that she doesn't jump up in front of us and block the view.
Question. Let's see here. Oh, congrats on the weight loss, Kenny.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Where in Texas are you going?
Is it Fredericksburg?
Mm-hmm.
Fredericksburg, Texas. I've never been there. We've only driven through Texas one time, and it was like through a little Top Hat section. So I don't really know too much about Texas. Hopefully we're there for a little bit. I would like to explain. I mean, Texas is enormous. I don't even know if we stay there for a week if we can add a state, because it's on our sticker board here. I don't even know if for 1 week in Texas is enough time to add it as a state. It's enormous, enormous.
You had a rule, so I think you met your rule.
I will meet the rule. I have a 2-night, 2-attraction rule, and we'll be there a little over a week, and I'm sure we'll dart out and see something too while we're there, just not the summit, I think.
Life with Ken and Jane. Jane is a pharmacist. Oh, I remember you telling us that.
Yep.
The last show. That's pretty cool. I love more medical people.
Pharmacists are great because they're the ones that, like, don't they? They're like your barrier for catching.
They keep us from killing people. No, that's not a very nice thing to say. They are very helpful. We love our pharmacists.
Yeah. I know. I just remember you saying that before.
I think that's all. I think that's all the questions.
All right, guys.
I feel bad for saying that. They keep us. Okay. Sorry, guys.
So we may or we may not be on next Thursday. Usually, if we're going to go live, I post it 24 hours in advance so you guys can see that will be going on. If you don't see anything by Wednesday night, most likely we will not be on at 7 p.m. But you'll probably be able to expect seeing our travel videos to Texas, hopefully by Sunday, because I'm going to try to video one day, edit one day, post it that night or something like. I'm not. We'll see. It depends on how. I'm really picky about our videos, and especially the travel ones and what I put out. So I don't like to rush too much. I really do like to take my time on the videos. But maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. You know, if you guys want quick turnout videos, I'll do that. If you want me to take a couple days, then video, a couple days, then video, I don't know.
Nobody wants junk.
Nobody wants junk. Okay. Sabrina said nobody wants junk. So it won't be incredibly fast, but I would imagine video on one day, edit one day, post the next. Because I like to edit everything and then look at it fresh the next day before I post it, just to be sure that I wasn't really tired and I just rushed through it sometimes. So that's everything tonight. We'll leave that. That's good. We'll see you guys.
You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, and hopefully we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Like, dislike, subscribe, share. Instagram, Moving Forward Adventures on Instagram. Thank you. Oop, no, wrong one. Sorry, guys. We're still here.